John.
Yeah.
Save for John.
John has abandoned us.
No, seriously, roll a saving throw for John damage.
But I'm resistant to John damage. I'm used to it. I've taken so much John damage in the past because he always.
I mean, she is Canadian. It's a racial trait.
Exactly. It's just like I've actually met John, so I know my enemy.
Cannot be put to sleep by John's lizard lectures. Advantage on saving throws versus John.
Exactly. I'm just like covered on all John attacks.
Okay, so why don't we do a little refresher before we jump into it, and maybe that'll give Larry time.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Rather than doing a whole previous Leon for nearly an entire campaign worth of adventuring,
I have notes.
I was going to ask what you guys thought might be the most important things moving forward. So what things from the last time we played do you think are going to have an impact on this time?
Okay.
The Rakshasa kidnapping the woman who was the granddaughter of that important figure that I can't remember the name of.
The leader of Adranor's order, no?
Don't we have her?
Yeah, we do, but the Rakshasa is somewhere?
Yeah, the
Big
Rakshasa
deal.
went back to her.
Something.
Got it.
Don't we also have the Bible, the Dawning Cataclysm? I say Cataclysm, but it's not the Cataclysm. It's something else. Catechism. Don't we have that?
Yes, maybe. Let me look at my notes.
Yeah, that's the reason we went to hell.
Yeah,
It's the reason we went there, but I can't even remember looting it.
I think that the dragon's probably gonna be a big deal as well, just because dragons usually are.
Although a devil,
Supposed to be red herring.
a devil that I'm super trustworthy with, I trust him implicitly, said that he is only a distraction from the true threat. Those that seek to open the demon hold.
Maybe it's still gonna be a big deal because it's big, it's red, it's epically ancient, and it spews fire.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying we kill him at level 10 and we save the demon hold for level 12. Brian, sorry, this is the exact opposite. This is a distraction. Who is Muthrin the most bloated?
He was the fat, demony, necromancery guy you fought in the Undermountain.
You know who knew about the demon hold? Muthrin. Did we kill Muthrin, Brian?
You did. You murdered him a lot.
A lot.
It was the one with the slaves, right? And he wanted us to be his pets or something?
Yeah,
Or
he
I
had the two beholder skeletons that jumped out and scared us and nearly made us disappear.
Oh, that guy.
Yup.
I fireballed him and broke your channel divinity, and you were mad at me. Sorry.
Meh. Every cleric knows the pain of that.
I think the Bleak Theater is gonna be a big deal because they've been a pain in our butt since day one.
There's a silver dragon who has a mate that's somewhere. Nobody really knows where.
Vala.
The elves are being invaded, but this is by hobgoblins that are using planal portal. So trying to get to a bridge, right? A bridge. There's a portal there to the Feywild, I believe.
Shantessa is the dragon's name? Who's Lady Vala?
Lady
Al-Zakar, the Lady of the Silver Moon.
Don't forget that everyone who's not a long-lived race and otherwise immortal is dead, so there's that.
Thanks.
Wilfred retired super rich when you all failed to collect on your inheritance.
I'm sure that my lawyer drafted up the paperwork properly so that
I'm sure your lawyer was in hell.
We're gonna come back
my
to
pseudo
having
the one who was
a franchise.
doing that.
Yeah.
And also, you don't know Padma like I do. She would not have let this go.
Mm-hmm.
She and Wilfred probably fought for the years, just trying to get it sorted out.
It was an expensive legal battle.
For years.
The true hero of the story, Cookie, is dead, probably.
Oh, Cookie. So is Abralam.
There were a bunch of doppelgangers.
There were supposedly some orcs and some hobgoblins, and like once the world gets too advanced, the orcs are going to set it back to 0.
No,
Oh,
they just didn't believe that progress was the inevitable state of all beings.
Guys, the goblin who thought he was an or a dwarf is probably very disappointed.
A
It's a
kobold.
He's a
kobold.
kobold.
A kobold, which probably
He's
does.
a
I don't think
dwarf,
that does
actually.
matter.
He is a dwarf.
He's a paladin of Sune.
He is now. In this game, he was a ranger.
Oh, there you go.
But when I play him as my own character, he is a paladin of Sune. Although he says Sun, goddess of love, because they need vengeance paladins.
Yes, that's the first
Heartbreaker.
thing that they look
Yeah.
for.
We also have a copy of Gnomish aptronyms and their origins, and golem creation on a budget, which I'm sure Wilfred used a lot of.
Probably.
Let's see, what else do we have?
So tell me about your special equipment. Everyone except Tony.
Special equipment? Or magic item?
Gum Gum is going to open her mouth and say nothing.
Yeah, your special magical items.
Cool.
Do we want to start per person?
Yeah. Let's start with Leona.
I've got a lot of dragon fighting stuff. I've got Scalemar, which is a legendary sentient sword that wants really badly to kill a bunch of dragons. He's missing his sheath, which I have not found. I also have the Tamarine Gamson?
Gambison.
That's, that. Which gives protection or advantage on breath saves versus dragons and resistant to fire. You wear it under armor, it's nice. And the Belt of Giant Strength is the majority of what I have.
Pardon the sirens. Tira, how about you?
I got tons of stuff. Of course, my backpack is full of very useful adventuring item, but I'm guessing you mean more like the magical things, which I have plenty of also. The most deadly being my quiver Meldus, who can help me shoot different types of arrows depending on my mood for the day. I also have different bowstrings of different shades of dragons. I got gold, silver, just a copper, and bronze, I believe, also. It's been a while. These are very cool. Lots of explosions happen. I also have the Elm of Brilliance, which is just the most dazzling hat around, which allows me to throw jewelry at people, and then it explodes, or variants of. It also gives me a restraining order against Jacob's undead minions.
Oh yeah, you killed like a whole bunch of children with a fireball. Remember?
I will never live this down. They were not children. They were monsters about to kill us. You're welcome. And I also have the goggles of night to be able to see in the dark. Because being a human, I kind of needs it, you know. And I think I also have on me right now the Rod of Security, which I just remembered, which is basically a party house. And it looks really cool, but we've never used it.
And it only works every 10 days.
Party every 10 days is the lesson.
So it has a long recharge time.
There was another thing that was super cool and super important. An arrow of slaying to kill dragons, which might come in handy. Who knows? And now that is it.
Okay. Peric? Trent?
Yep, I remember I have push to talk now. Okay, so the wedding ring, which is a magic item itself, which is a ring resistance necrotic damage. I have a decantler of endless water, which I don't think I've used yet, besides just as a, water or tankard or whatever. I have winged boots, which are awesome and let me fly around everywhere. And finally, I have the gauntlets of the healing touch, which lets me cast cure wounds at 3rd level once per day.
Nice. They also increase your movement speed
They do?
by 5 feet.
Oh, neat. I didn't. Wait.
So you're like a person now.
Like a real person.
Yep. So your base walking speed should be 30.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's at the bottom. Cool.
Cool. So let's see. Looking at my notes, here are some things that may or may not be important that we may want to refresh on. There was a historic adventuring party called the Company of the Black Osprey,
Oh yes.
who you have come across mention of several times. There was a group of slavers. There was an entire underwater kingdom who you met emissaries of, including their queen, who you saved.
She was super cute.
Namora?
Nymora.
She was cool. Oh, somebody has a ring.
Mm-hmm.
Who has the ring?
I know
Gum
Gum Gum. No, because Gum Gum can't speak, so she can't activate it.
I thought Piper had the ring last.
Piper brought it back and gave it to Gum Gum, who gave it to the group.
Somebody has it. I don't know. Was it
John, probably.
maybe?
I'm just guessing.
Or was it before or after we lost Lodag and Torg?
After.
Yep.
Okay.
That is the Nautilus ring, which is in the items list. I don't know who has it currently.
Nobody knows. It's in somebody's pockets, which is gonna.
It's under somebody's couch and the cushions.
Wait,
It's got some interesting info in there you may want to take a look at.
Mhm.
Or
We
perhaps-
missed out on Buffeted by Madra's powerful voice.
Mhm. Who knows? There may be other opportunities. And Jacob has a few interesting things. He's got his spell book, which occasionally talks to him, called the Liber Evonis. He's got his darkened cowl, which, when he's wearing it, his face is in shadow, even when there's light shining directly on it.
Even when a goblin puts her hand where the face is, there's just nothing.
Yeah. He's got his familiar, the floating skull.
Mort was his name, right?
Yep. I'm also looking back through all my notes. And Tira has a pet, friend, party
Yes.
member.
Buddy.
hero.
Good boy. I don't exactly count him as, a magic item,
Mm-mm.
but he is the bestest of boys.
He is. He's also been updated, his character sheet.
I haven't even looked.
Almost. Yeah, there we go.
Oops. I clicked too quickly. He's still considered an adolescent.
He's not quite fully grown up, and he's not completely trained yet.
I've been kind of busy, being in hell and everything. Poppy.
But he's got a few new abilities.
I see.
that he earned by helping save a celestial hound archon who granted him these new abilities, and maybe more that he'll grow into.
Such a good boy.
But he is not a puppy anymore. He's very large now.
He's going to try and sit in your lap, and it's just going to be like, I cannot see over this wall of dog.
It's like when Great Danes sit down on the couch and like their ass is on the couch, but their front legs are on the floor, and you're like, how are you doing that?
Why do you think this is a good plan?
Okay, well, we're going to get started, even though Larry isn't here yet. He will be soon enough, I suppose. You all, having just concluded your deals with Dispater, with the exception of Peric and Pantouf, all of you have made deals.
Yeah.
And as part of this... Oh, you're not ready?
Can't tell if that was a dramatic, I'm not ready.
Emotional.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So, as part of the final arrangement, Dispater sent you all back to the world. When you arrive, you find yourselves in Galeron City, the capital of the kingdom for which you work. Some of you are from there, some of you are not, but it has become sort of the central authority in your lives, and you arrive back. Most of you were with the group when it started. Actually, I take that back. Only Tira and Hadronor were with the group when it started.
That is true. And now I'm still survivor.
Hadronor is with you, as is Lady Ilrian Talbusk. Although she has had her mind taken from her. Instructions have been given on how to restore it.
Yes, and we remember those.
They're in the post
Okay,
that I made with
I'll have
all
to
of the
have a look.
contracts.
Excellent. Not that I need it, of course.
When you arrive back in Galeron City is a port city on a large river. And it is like stepping from a hot summer day into a freezer as you teleport from Dis to Galeron City. It is winter, and when you look up, the sky is a coppery orange color of a dark sunset, except you can see that the sun is high in the sky.
What season was it when we left?
It was autumn, I believe, or summer, late summer.
Oh no, boys! I think I might have lost some time.
And ahead of you, you see the tavern Tira where your whole adventure started.
Does it look different in any way?
Yeah. The streets all look worn. People don't seem to make eye contact with anyone. They seem to keep their distance. You see several people wearing cloths over the lower parts of their faces. But the tavern's open, and you all step inside. That is where we left off. And then I sent out this wall of text a little while back that I'm just going to revisit with you. As you all step back into the tavern where your adventure started, freshly escaped from hell, you look around to find an empty table. The tavern is full, but the feeling there is not joyous. Most people there, they just seem to be drinking quietly. Very few people seem to even be talking, and when they do, it's just quiet little tones as they talk to the people near them. Near the center of the large common room is an older man with dark skin and a shaven head, and he beckons to your group. He looks vaguely familiar, but none of you really recognize him. And upon seeing your hesitation, he rises and approaches you. And he looks directly at Tira when he says, "So it has come. It is a pleasure to meet you at last. Mother and father told me many tales of my older sister. We have much to discuss."
Yes. Pardon me. I don't believe we've met. I'm a little confused. You are?
He is trying to guide you to the table, and he seems to be casting a nervous glance at your group, almost as if he's trying to make sure none of you draw attention.
Okay. Can I get a read? Is he gonna try to hurt me?
Yeah.
I
feel
get a
free to-
feeling he's probably not, but you know.
Roll.
Whoa.
That is the first roll of coming back.
My multi-class just fucking hit hard.
Holy crap.
You know, L is just the best place if you want to get good.
At being suspicious of everyone.
Yes.
So you realize why he looks familiar. He looks. Yeah, he's a human cosplayer.
Human cosplayer. Oh, I remember him.
No, he looks like your father a little bit. He resembles more your mother's older brother. So he looks like he could be related to you. And he seems to be genuinely happy to see you and a little nervous. And he doesn't look like someone who is typically nervous. He seems to be the kind of person who, you're getting a lot with this double 20. He seems to be the kind of person who is used to being in charge. He's got a very self-assured nature to him, except when he's talking to Tira.
I am like not suspiciously, but just a little unsure because this is all very strange and a little unsettling, to be certain. But does it seem like he would rather we speak alone, or he's just trying to grab the group and bring them somewhere else?
He seems like he's trying to get the group to go sit at the table that he had set aside.
All right, I'll amuse him for now, and just gesture to my friends. Seems like we already have a table.
Sorry, I've got more sirens. It is a busy night, apparently.
What did you do this time, Brian?
You know, I need to remember to stop doing things on Thursdays.
It's just like you need to keep your break in the law for Fridays.
There you
It's
go.
simple.
So he guides you all to the table and sits you down, and then he motions to a couple of people who were in the tavern as well, and you notice that there were extra chairs, and he motions them over. One is a gray-skinned elf. The other is a woman who looks like she could be his daughter. Tony, would you like to describe your character?
It's happening.
Well, gum. No. The man that you would see is an elf. Clearly of one of the more rare sub-races. He has ashen white skin with dark black hair that pull back sort of like a mohawk, and the sides of his head are shaved. He has dozens of small little scars that give his skin these ashen gray imperfections on his hands and his arms and his cheek. He is very lean and lithe. He has a lot of tattoos. Going up both of his forearms, you see 5 rings of tattoos, and they start just above his wrist and in just below the elbow, and they seem to have arcane glyphs and runic circles made into them. And he carries a whip and a curved saber of sorts on his side. He's otherwise dressed in very form-fitting dark clothes.
So when you see your friend and employer motion you over to the table, it is a strange assortment. How do you react upon seeing them?
Seeing the rest of these visitors.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I haven't been told that we were expecting visitors, right?
You were told that you were expecting visitors, someone who could help, but you weren't given any details.
I imagine I'm really sizing them up. I'm trying not necessarily to look for threats, but if I'm told that somebody's showing up that can help, I really want to know exactly. I want to attach a label to every one of them and what it is I think they're good at.
Mm-hmm. Does anyone in particular stand out other than the enormous trollhound?
Admittedly, probably Jacob, because he might have his hood raised.
Mm-hmm.
I think he always has it.
And Peric?
Parrot?
I mean, if it helps, Peric looks shell-shocked, like he's slowly accepting something.
Peric, why don't you roll insight for me?
Oh shit.
Let's see if you're able to.
Sorry,
sort
for
this
some
shit
reason
out.
my thing wasn't loaded.
You don't figure it out. It's a mystery. You went back into the past. Your wife was never born.
Okay. Peric, you notice several patrons in the tavern look at you with shock. And the place had been quiet, but once people start to notice you, there are whispers that start to spread.
Wait, what race is
He's a
Parrot
halfling.
again? Oh, I thought he was a gnome. I always think he's a gnome. I'm probably pretty surprised to see him then.
Okay. Do you have a poker face, or are you?
There's probably a solid second of expression before I reel it in.
Okay.
And it's very much surprise.
The young woman sits down and she's looking at Tira with a goofy smile on her face, almost expectant. But the man takes a small, it looks almost like a tin wind-up toy of a little goblin. And he winds it up and he sets it on the table, and it starts going on around the table in circles, and it's got a little tin bag, and it's reaching down and putting things into the bag and reaching down and putting things into the bag as it walks around the table.
This girl, I'm sorry, this girl, how much girl are we talking? Like 6, 15?
No,
You-
she's are you guys on the page where I am?
Yeah, she's the one on the right.
right?
Yeah, she's the one on the right.
Sorry, my character sheet. there it is. Okay. My character sheet was open, so I was just like,
okay.
I have no idea what you're talking about. But now I see
She's-
it.
She's in her mid-20s, early 20s. But once the little goblin toy is moving around on the table, you hear those whispers start to dissipate. And people seem to not notice any of you anymore. And he looks at all of you and he says, "That was one of Wilfred's last inventions. It makes sure people stop paying attention."
Yes, that definitely sounds like something it would make last.
Allow me to now introduce myself. My name is Kedar Divan.
Pleasure to meet you.
This is Elric, and he gestures to Tony's new character.
The name's Eric.
And then he gestures to the young woman, and he says, and I believe you know her. And she just grins and then turns back to him and says, I told you they would not recognize me.
I'm sorry.
I don't recognize her.
Who?
She laughs and she says, the last time you saw me, I was wearing a different body, but it got old and it died. I had some money set aside for my retirement, and this is what your brother chose to do with it. And he smiles and he says, I couldn't let the woman who raised me simply die.
Is that Padme?
Is that Padma?
Yes.
But I don't understand. What is going on?
He looks at you and he says, best done quickly then. You've been gone for 62 years and some change.
Peric just starts crying.
I'll get a little pale as well. 62 years.
Oh, I'm gonna owe a
gives you
lot
all
of
a
property
moment.
rent.
What was that? I'm sorry.
I'm gonna owe a lot on property rent.
Do you say that?
Yeah.
He says, no, not if your property was in Midsummer Island or in Port Dare. As far as we know, they aren't there anymore.
The port, the property,
The island. So, you've missed some things.
Yes, definitely.
And he looks almost lost for a place to start. He says, perhaps I had better just start with, I was born on a ship escaping from the cataclysm that destroyed the Veiled Lands.
So much for that.
Our father stayed behind. He died. Mother lived for some time.
I'll cry a bit.
Since then, the world has gone from bad to worse.
What destroyed it?
We don't know for certain. There's a pattern, you see. First the plagues come. The suppurating plague, it's called. Nasty wounds everywhere. They ooze and smell. And then when the plague clears up, the hollow arrive. People start disappearing. And then the armies. One by one, nations of the world have fallen. There are very few left. Galeron, maybe 2 or 3 others.
Whose armies?
We don't even know their name. They're worse than demons. These hollow, dark creatures suck the life from you. And you see Padma, who had been just so happy and smiling and grinning to have Tira back, and of course the rest of you. Her face just hardens. You see a shiver of almost fear run up her spine. But we are learning. We have found, we think, either the cause or the solution. It's called the... And as he says that, you feel a strange tugging dislocation. And he and Padma and the tavern seem to retreat away from you. And you feel yourselves pulled.
You know, I really wish they would stop doing that.
And in a moment, looking around, you find that you're no longer in the tavern. You're in really a magnificent circular room. It has a high domed ceiling that's covered in faded murals. Nearby there's a large fountain that's filled with some kind of black, foul-smelling water. And just behind you is a glowing portal. It's a tarnished brass oval ring, maybe 15 feet tall and 10 feet wide. It's mounted on a low pedestal, and you can see through it the frozen figure of Kedar and Padma and the tavern and Hadranor and Lady Ilrian and Gum Gum. And you look around and you see that there are only a few of you here in this room. On the opposite side of the room is another brass oval like the first one, except that it is dark. There is no image within it. There's a flight of stairs that lead up to a nondescript metal door. The staircase is cracked and damaged. Above it is an arch made from the bones of a dragon. The dragon's skull, mounted at the highest point, looks down on you from dead black sockets. And as you are looking around, you see 3 green gems above the lit portal, and then one of them cracks and sparks, and the portal goes dark.
Oh, that can't be good.
Yeah, I'm concerned. Mildly concerned.
Yes, mild concern is a good start. I wish we
Elric
would
is
understand what's going on.
So who is here is, I'm sorry to interrupt, is Tira, Leona, Peric, Jacob, Elric, and Pantuf.
It takes about a minute for Peric finally to kind of like look up and realize he's no longer in the tavern.
This is a lot. A lot. There's nothing around except the other portal with the ominous stairs, is there?
There's a fountain that is not working. It is filled with some kind of black, foul-smelling liquid. There are the two portals and then the stairs that lead up to a metal door.
Oh, okay. So the portals are not... I misunderstood. I thought the other portal was the path to the stairs.
Nope. So the portals are on, say, the east and west of the room. They look at each other across this large fountain. To the north is the staircase and the metal doors.
Is there a check of some kind I can do to figure out what the fountain or the gems almost seem like a power source for the portals, but maybe to just narrow that down.
Yeah, I will take Arcana or Medicine. If you have proficiency with like herbalism.
I am still whispering. Sorry. Let me try that again. Oh, that's even lower. Okay.
So you step up to the fountain. The fountain is about 15 feet in diameter and round. And the water is brackish and black, but it just seems to be stagnant water. It doesn't appear to be any kind of strange liquid. It just appears to have been here getting foul for a long time.
And I wouldn't know this, but this doesn't look like to them the Hadgenor's hidey hole.
No.
I look over my shoulder and I say, "Is this one of your doing?"
Maybe we're back in hell. Or maybe we never left. Maybe we thought we got out and it was just going to show us our worst nightmare and then bring us back. And now all we got to do is get out again.
No, we made deals with him. He needs us to do things.
Plus, I don't think Padma would still be alive in my worst nightmare. As terrible as this all is. I'm sorry, Parrot. Maybe she's still... We can look for her after. I'll put my hand on his shoulder. But we gotta move forward for now. No point in standing in place. There's nothing here but this staircase.
She is right, Terminarch. Do try to cheer up.
What did you call me?
So, Elric, what is it you do?
Exactly.
I practice the art.
Painting.
That is
Sculpting? Carpentry?
an art.
Blacksmithing?
I practice the art, singular and proper.
Calligraphy.
Whoring.
Magic, children, magic.
Ah,
Well, you
Stay in
see,
the back then.
sorry. Did you call me something?
I referred to you as... Oh, I suppose it was distasteful. I apologize, Terminarch. It won't happen again.
I still don't know what that means and if I should be offended or not.
well, it doesn't
Perhaps
seem
you
enough.
might, and I might apologize for it later. For the moment, though, let's find
Right.
our way out of this place.
Beric, you're in the front with me. Let's go.
Keep an
Okay.
eye on him. Come on, Jacob. You don't need
Just
to be
ignore
afraid.
him. He seems kind of like a dick, but you know.
Noted. I'll bring Pantouf closer and I'll just Pantouf. You need to keep an eye on this one. We don't trust him. He looks weird.
Pantouf raises an ear, just one, cocks it forward.
Just an eye.
Then he makes an insight check. And he agrees to keep an eye on Elric.
Good boy. I'll give him a scritch.
He shoves his face into his thigh.
All right. So
To the stick!
staircase. There's a sort of plain metal door at the top of the staircase. The archway of dragonbone seems to be decoration that was added at some point after the room was built. It's not fixed into the floors or the walls.
Tira, would you like to check this door?
Of course, of course. Just step aside. I haven't done this in a while. Usually Gum Gum does this. All right, let's see. I'll give it a look first.
I will help you.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Perception?
Yes.
Wow, it's a good thing you're here.
So you You don't discern anything out of the ordinary about the door. It does not appear to be locked or trapped. Nor do you hear anything from the far side.
I think we should be good. Do you want me to open it?
Please.
All right. I'll actually grab my bow. I have an arrow notch, but I will open it because it doesn't seem. Is it a door with a handle, or could I open it with my foot?
It has a handle.
Okay, then I won't do that. Then I'll just use the handle like a normal person would.
Okay. When you open the door, it opens towards you, and you look beyond. There's a large room with a marble floor, but it is littered with debris. There's one thing about this place is it is almost choked with dust and cobwebs, both rooms that you've seen.
Oh, this is nasty.
There used to be 3 pairs of pillars going down the center of the hall, but the pillar closest to you on the right appears to have been toppled and crashed through the eastern wall of the room. Beyond that rubble, through the hole in the wall, you can see another room, and also in the ceiling, you can see that the ceiling above you is the floor below some other room. You can just barely make out. The north end of this large room, though, there's a scarred statue of a woman, maybe 20 feet tall. Its head is sort of bent so that it seems to be supporting the ceiling on its shoulders. But it has 2 hands, the elbows at its side, 2 hands straight out in front of it, outstretched, palms up. You see doors, a door to the east, as well as, a door on the eastern wall north of where the wall has been broken through.
Okay. So one door on the ceiling, one hole in the ceiling, one door at the northeast, and one hole in the east wall.
Mm-hmm. The hole in the ceiling is part of the hole in the east wall. It just crashed through the ceiling and wall.
Okay. So basically mostly opening around the east side of the situation. All right.
Yep.
What's the lighting situation in there?
I believe we are dark.
All right.
Oh, I can not see then.
Do you want some light?
Yeah, it is dark.
I have torches.
Well, I can just, I'll just have my elm light up.
No, that works.
This way you can keep your hands free.
What does the statue look like it is just decorative, or that it's actually meant to take something into its hands?
Why don't you go and make a check for me?
What kind of check would you like?
Either perception or investigation. They will net different results.
I'm proficient in perception, which means it's identical to my investigation, which I'm not proficient in. I will just do a investigation.
Okay.
How do you pronounce your last name? I'm sorry.
Sindale.
When you're looking at the statue, you see that in the palms there are actually bevels cut, as if something specific was meant to sit there.
Okay, I just take note of the symbol and I'll look for something as we move that might fit there.
Okay.
And in the big crack in the wall,
Mhm.
what does that lead to? Is it just void?
No. It leads to a narrow room that seems to go south, and you can just make out a door on its east wall.
And the room again is covered in like cobwebs and debris.
Everything, everywhere. It looks like no one has been here for a very long time. Or at least no one has maintained this place in a very long time.
All right. Let's clear the door in this room before we move on.
On it.
Elric, did you find anything interesting about the statue?
It appears its hands are outstretched for something specific.
And I'll describe the shape vaguely.
Is that
Is it Larry?
Hello.
Oh my god!
You're here.
I'm
That's my
here.
favorite lawyer.
Welcome, Larry.
Well, don't get used to me being a warrior.
Lawyer?
Oh, lawyer. I think it's a warrior.
You're a
Like-
warrior lawyer.
I hate to disappoint you.
Harvey Birdman, attorney at law, would make a good D&D character.
So, would anyone like to catch Larry up?
Sure. Turns out that we're in the future, Jacob, which we had an inkling of. We met Tira's brother, whose name is Kadar. We also we met this new person who's an elf, whose name is Elric. And Padma is switched bodies to a younger version of herself. She looks nice. It's
Huh?
really suiting her well. The Veiled Land have been destroyed by a cataclysm. There were plagues and people disappearing and armies that nobody knows a lot about. And then we just sort of were teleported in this room. Adrenor is in here, and Gum Gum is in here, and the new guy is here, though. Don't ask me why. You're good.
Do I have all my limbs?
Yes,
do.
you do.
Okay, well, I mean, that takes care of one concern.
You know I wouldn't let you lose your limbs.
So the where you arrived was a large circular room. There were two, what are obviously portals in it. One of them, when you arrived, was still active. You could see almost frozen in it, like a still image, the tavern where you had been talking with Tira's brother, and he appeared to be frozen mid-word. But shortly after you arrived, one of the gems above that portal turned dark and sort of sparked, and the portal turned off. There's another portal in that large room that was not active. Also in that room was a large fountain of brackish water. You have moved since then to the north to a second room. This room at one time had 6 pillars in 3 pairs, but one of the pillars has crashed through the wall into the next room. There's also a statue of a woman. She has her head bent as if she's holding the ceiling up with her shoulders. Her elbows are at her side, hands out, palms up. And Elric, the new guy, found that there were bevels in the palms of the statue's hands that looked like they were meant to hold something specific.
Wow.
The portal that is inactive, not the one that cracked, but the one that is inactive, did it have a recess above the door like it was meant to also hold a gem?
Yes, 3. Both of them. The active one had 3 gems, one of which turned off. The other portal looked like it had spaces for 3 gems, but it doesn't
Okay.
have them.
Do those gems look transferable?
No.
Okay. And now that I know that I'm looking something at, sorry, I know I'm taking up a lot of time. Now that I know I'm looking for something bevelish, can I sort of rake the water with something that is not my flesh to make sure there's nothing hidden in there?
What something?
Yeah, we could probably help you with this. I also have a ton of stuff.
30 feet of chain.
I'll just grab a pole. Yeah, 10-foot
The
pole.
grappling hook.
Two
Yeah,
10-foot
I
pole.
haven't filled out my inventory yet, but I have
through
a
everything.
scroll of blood.
What?
Scroll of blood.
A blue.
So you take one of the offered poles, 10 foot or otherwise, and
Nice.
and start putting it into that fountain, looking for if there's anything on the bottom. And you
Yeah,
come
just
up,
try to dredge it.
yeah, you come up with a couple of bones. They look humanoid,
Yeah.
but that's about it.
Do you mind if I try something?
By all
Anyone?
means.
You know I don't.
I'd do a thing for the first time.
Things. We like those.
Pontouf is part celestial. I'm calling it.
He is.
Yes.
Pantouf lights up to your senses.
He seems pleased though.
Where are you doing this? In the first room or the second room?
I did not know we went back to the first room, so I'd still be in the second room.
Okay, 60 feet. Oh, wow. That reaches a lot. And it doesn't have the... Oh, not behind total cover. You don't detect anything else.
So just Pontouf.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
And when you do your divine sense, Pantouf turns to you and gives you a little ooh.
When you
He's
look
such a
into the void looks back.
He woofs. The scratch Pontouf.
Okay. So in the second room, by the way, Larry, one of the pillars crashed through the wall, showing a room beyond, and also a room on a second floor or a floor above.
Does anybody want to go up to the second floor?
There's also a door in this room further north on the east wall.
I think we'll get there eventually. Let's be systematic in our approach.
I was thinking the same thing. We start with this one, and once we've cleared this floor, we can go upstairs if we need to.
No one has
Nope.
figured it out yet.
So the door
So,
or the
yeah.
hole?
I'll
And-
wait until we're all back in this room, and then I would suggest the door.
Okay. By the way, everything, Larry, is covered with dust and cobwebs, and this place looks like it has not been maintained in a long time.
Okay.
I will follow along beside the rest of them and see where they lead.
Yeah, I'm just looking around. Can I investigate like the corners of the rooms, see if there's anything like hidden behind?
Mm-hmm. Make which room?
Doing this in the second room that
Yeah.
we're in the second room.
Yeah.
Yes.
Make a perception.
Perception.
You, lucky you, discover on the west wall, directly opposite the intact door that is on the east wall, you discover a secret door.
Secret doors.
There's always a secret door.
Are you saying that because you found one?
Yes, I show them the secret door.
Well done, Jacob. I didn't even see that.
Thank you.
Should we start with the secret door?
Let's.
Do I
Excellent.
know how to open the door?
It looks like you can push in on it, and that will cause the mechanism to cause it to slide into the wall.
Okay. I want to check it for traps first.
With that perception, you would see that it is not trapped.
Oh, okay. Then I'll give it the little pushy push.
Okay, there's a very faint click, and then it slides silently into the wall to the south. This place may not have been maintained in a while, but this mechanism is still quite operational and does not seem to have suffered much deterioration. When it slides into the wall, you can see ahead of you a corridor. It extends maybe 10 feet before you see in a little alcove a bronze statue that looks like an ancient warrior holding a shield. The intersection turns into a T going north and south.
Is there anything particular about this warrior statue and its shield mostly? Maybe emblem or coat of arms that we might recognize or
Make a history check.
Great.
it's gonna be good. Oh, it's actually not that bad.
Nice.
There you go.
You are well versed in history, but you do not recognize the style, the motif of the shield. You don't recognize the style of armor, and the more you look at it, you realize you don't recognize what race the statue is. But as you are examining the statue, you can hear sounds to the north.
What sort of sounds?
They sound a bit like breaking furniture.
I'll when I hear that, I'll turn around and I'll just put one finger to my lips to just quiet, and I will turn off the light on my helmet and put down my goggles of night. Sorry, Leon. And I will head slowly towards the direction of the sound and try not to make any noise.
I'm sorry. Wait, please. What's your name?
Tira.
Tara. Come here for a second.
All right. Are you sure this is really the right time? Sure. What is it? I'm kind of in the middle of something.
I will hold out my hand towards her shoulder, and as I do so, I start muttering words of arcane power. And the second ring of tattoos on my right arm begins to spin before finally the third one, like a cog in time, rotates to match it, as I will cast a second level spell at third level.
Ooh.
Invisibility! But I can't click it in edit mode on myself and her. Ah! Clicked the wrong thing. That was a good spell for the magic invisibility. Do-do-do-do-do.
All right, that's Andy. I'm a little pleased, but you can't see it because I'm invisible.
That's how that works, I'm told.
I will give you a nod, which you also can't see because I'm invisible, and then I'll turn around and I get back to what I was doing, which was important.
I'll give her like a 15-foot lead because she's probably better than me. But I will follow along behind her.
Okay. You can't give her that big of a lead, as you open the
room
door
is not
very quietly, and normally doing something like that. Oh no, it's just attacks or cast a spell. Excellent. So you open the door very quietly. The rest of the group there's not a lot of room in here. So the rest of the group moves back into that large room. But Tira, you and Elric are there.
Do you need me to roll stealth too?
Yes, please.
I debated for a super long time taking expertise in stealth. I got 22.
She's still more quiet than me. See, you could do it.
Okay. The rest of you are off in the big room over here.
Okay. I expected this room to be bigger for some reason.
It is very small. There is a door on the north wall, directly opposite the door you just opened. So,
and I still don't see where the noise is coming from.
You do. I'm making the map as we go.
Tira, it's not the size of the room, it's the... Yeah.
Yes.
It's the border of the mortar.
Sure. Of course. Why did I not think of that?
Just a second. It's processing.
We're dodging furniture. Bob and weave. Bob and weave.
You see three figures in this room.
Ooh.
They appear to be breaking apart a desk, looking for something. These creatures have black scales, even though the tokens do not. They look draconic, but not like Dragonborn. They have a more feral look to them. What would you like to do?
They look feral. They don't. Are they talking to one another? Are they like
They
throwing
are.
things at one another?
They're talking. It seems to be coordinated. They don't. They look less noble than Dragonborn.
Okay.
Is there a check I can do to figure out?
No, you don't have to. You would recognize these are essentially the foot troops of the armies that have been invading. They appear to be some kind of dragon person, always black scaled. But yeah, these are essentially the infantry.
And you said these guys are black, even though their token's not, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So just so everybody knows, the last few weeks have been incredibly busy at work, and I've had 0 brain cells to build maps or make tokens. So we're doing a lot of this
Totally understandable.
off the hip this week.
So I will flail about until I hopefully find Tira's shoulder and just start to drag her like not like drag her, but try to lead her back towards where we came.
I glare. You don't see it, but I glare, and then I follow you.
Okay.
What is it?
Those are the foot soldiers of the armies that your younger brother had mentioned.
So we killed them.
It might be something.
How formidable! Like, I mean, are these guys that? Is the army have a legendary tale, or do the foot soldiers have their legendary tales?
So the army does, but the only thing about the army itself, often there are hollow within the army, but they don't serve as soldiers. They're almost like artillery, except they're creatures.
Okay.
Okay.
These guys, you would think it would be like facing human soldiers. These are not epic.
Right. Okay.
And 3 of them against your group, you feel is something
Winnable.
you could do.
Okay.
I realize you don't know me very well, but I've been to hell and back. I think that we can take a few dragon-looking people.
My concern is what's here with them.
Hey, Brian, can I send Mort up to kind of look over their shoulders?
Mort's talking.
I hope Mort makes the sounds that like the floating skulls in Zelda make. That.
So you bring forth Mort. And he's like, "What do you need, boss?"
Hey, bud, can you go perchance check out what's happening over there? I didn't want to bother them, but now I'm getting a little nervous.
Okay. Roll stealth for Mort.
Oh, perfection.
Well, if he attracts attention, it's not necessarily a bad thing because we are invisible.
The problem is he doesn't have lips anymore, and as he moves through the air, the air just whistles right between those giant teeth of his.
Okay.
Well, you may bounce off something in the hallway.
So he sails forward, and he stops part way, and he's like, "Hey guys, what's happening? Everybody back there wants to know what's going on."
What the hell are you?
It's Mort. It's all right. He's a friend. There are people there. He says it's part of the army. How about you go back to see Jacob
And you guys make a lot of noise, and we see if we can't attract them out of the room and onto you, and we'll surprise them from the back.
That seems like a plausible idea.
That
And I'll-
was really complicated. I can't remember all that, so I'm just gonna go up here. Yeah, they said there's bad guys.
Oh,
So Tira, you've got a door immediately to your south. Elric, that's where that bronze statue was. And it takes up most of that alcove. You can squeeze in.
Yeah, I'm just trying to squeeze in so that they can filter past us, and then we can murder, death, kill them.
Okay. Give me a quick second to draw out sort of the dimensions of this other room. It is about like that. Maybe a little longer. And
Pantoufli's not comfortable being by himself, so he's just going to be in the room here instead.
yeah. And there are columns. Spaced about like that. And about like that.
Oof. And move here instead.
I just found out that apparently my weekend is going to be consisting of watching Infinity War 5 times.
That's a good plan. I approve this plan.
I was not asked if this is what I wanted to do this weekend. I was just told that that is what we're doing.
Okay, so that's the other room.
Fantastic.
So what would you guys like to do?
Challenge them? I light a torch.
All of a sudden, Tira and Elric, you see them stop, and they start whispering to each other. It is a bastardized form of Draconic. It's difficult to tell what they say if you do speak Draconic. Impossible otherwise.
I don't even.
But they start moving out.
I'll toss that torch right there.
When the torch hits, he stops. His buddies behind him. He looks at it. He peeks around the corner and sees you. We're going to roll initiative.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, this is the first half of the session, so this is the easy half. Things are going to ramp up suddenly some point in the next hour.
Right.
Also, I have no idea what I'm doing in this character.
Sorry, Tony. I forgot to organize my abilities, so they're all over the place.
And yours is so hard. There's so much text. You're just like text after text after text. You're like, what does this do? Does it matter? No.
And I need Jacob to roll initiative. Larry. Okay. I'll do it for him.
sorry, I'm here. I running around like a madman.
It's okay. Just some
yes.
initiative.
Yes, I can give you that initiative. Yes.
Leona, Peric, and Jacob, you don't have to stand there in a line. That's where I dropped you.
Okay.
Leona, it's probably good that you're there.
Yeah, that.
But Peric or Jacob, if you would prefer to be somewhere else in the room, you can.
Okay. And since I have more out, can he just go on my turn or?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what we're gonna do with Mord.
Coolio. Yeah, I guess Jacob would probably be trying to stay a little hidden. This is a column?
It is.
Okay. Good columns.
Okay. So Peric will wait right there. Tira, you're up.
Okay. Is there any way that I can, be in a zone where I'm not in this dragon person's way, but I could shoot him when he gets close to Leona? Is that something that can be done?
You can lean around the corner from where you are and shoot at him.
Okay, cool. In this case, I will prepare an action to shoot the fool that comes close to my friend Leona. That's gonna be my turn.
Okay. Leona?
I will drop my initiative to 17.
Okay.
Also, did I have time to put a shield on?
Yeah, you guys
Okay.
had a couple moments to prepare. So you can...
You had 62 years, but you weren't ready.
Oh damn, I didn't phrase my things properly. Oh well, it's fine.
What?
Well, I just realized now that, the first one is gonna pass and then the other two are gonna be there, and I would wait until at least, the three have exited the room before shooting.
Okay.
But one is close to Leona. That would be more precise, closer to what I wanted. I'm sorry, it's been a while.
No, it's fine. I'm just looking at something. Okay. So on his turn, he steps around the corner, sees them. He's going to move up to there. He draws in a deep breath.
Oh shit.
And
We're at this Xbox
I
Live
need-
notification.
Yeah, I need the three of you to make dexterity saves.
Does
he-
this count as a dragon's breath weapon?
It does, and this is going to say fire, but it's actually acid as he pukes out acid.
Do I get any advantage being somewhat hidden behind the column, or does it just wrap around
Oh
it?
no, no.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh
I have advantage because
Good.
no. Oh wow.
27 acid damage if you failed, and 13 if you succeeded.
Ouch, 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 ouch.
And then he will continue moving and step up to engage Leona as his friends come out to do the same thing.
are they gonna also spit acid?
They can, but they are holding off as they come up and wield their longswords at you.
Okay, well, now that they've all passed, can I shoot this guy over here?
Yes.
Or after? After
go
is
ahead.
fine too. Okay.
Also,
cool.
do you get any opportunity attacks?
We could, but if we take them, we will drop
They'd be attacking us
invisibility.
instead of you.
Yeah.
Oh.
I like you being
The plan
one
is
attacked.
a pincer attack. Don't worry, Jacob, we got your back.
So yeah, held actions go off first.
Cool. I will make this a steady aim shot and just shoot. I believe I can do it at least twice. With sneak attack for the first round. Thank you, Leona. So that's
Nice.
one. And that's the second one.
It's a lot of
Nice.
damage.
That is a lot of damage. 35 as they sink into him, two, one in each shoulder, just under the shoulder blade. He cries out in pain.
And I roll right back against the wall.
Okay. Are you level 2 of Rogue?
I'm level 3 of Rogue.
Excellent. If this had been your actual turn, you could have taken a bonus action to hide.
I know, but sadly, I did not do that.
Sadly, he's used all his movement too, so he can't come
Yeah,
get you.
so.
Elric, were you holding an action?
I haven't had a turn yet.
Excellent, even better. So all of these attacks are going at Leona. The first two are from the top guy.
On the first attack,
Mhm.
I will attempt to Kudar A.
Coup d'arrêt.
Coup d'arrêt.
I practiced saying these for like an hour and I still can't.
Perfect practice makes perfect.
Coup d'arrêt.
That is way better than my phonetic spelling. Fuck.
Okay.
That's clearly coup de Eret. Guys are weird.
Make a melee attack. Unfortunately, a 15 will not hit.
Oh shit.
Shit.
That's all right. I'll just take it to the face then.
Okay. So
Don't you have an item that lets you disarm people or something like that? Or is that someone else who has that weapon?
I just did the thing.
Oh, that's Torgazel's katana. Never mind.
mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was his first attack.
Oh, Torgazel.
That's his second attack.
That'll miss.
Okay. What is your
This
AC?
is the magic number.
Hmm?
I can
20.
put it in the chat.
Excellent.
The
So the
other-
second one will likewise make 2 attacks at you. 1, 2. And you take 5 slashing damage. Scalemar, when you miss with your coup d'arrêt, your sword says, "Well, they're not real dragons, but let's kill them anyway."
Oh, I like the cut of
Standard.
his
I don't
jib.
have them.
But that's their turns. So, Leona?
I'll try and kill him anyway.
Okay.
This is at the injured one in the middle. Oh, I'm
That
sad.
won't hit.
You already used your reaction, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll
Did
just
I?
try again.
Yeah, a held action uses your reaction.
Oh, okay.
And I will use a bonus action to attempt to help Peric do whatever he's doing.
Okay, a 20 does hit. The first strike with Scalemar pings off of his heavily armored form, but you do find a way to pierce it. Once Scalemar gets like their scent, he gets really excited. He's like, "No, no, no! Hit here, just under the shoulder. Right now, right. Yes,
in,
cool.
in, the, in the squishy pot?
Okay. And yep, you help Peric. Peric, you will have advantage on an attack or a skill check. Elric.
All right. I will make my way forward. Sorry, did you have something, Larry?
Nope. Never mind. I'm dumb.
Making my way downtown.
I will break my invisibility to attack this feller here.
Okay, you have advantage on the first one.
And I will.
Guarding flame blade.
Green flame!
That is the spell. Let me roll an attack because I made these things.
Oh, yeah.
All right, he's in.
Okay, you're gonna have to explain all the numbers to me.
So the one I'm attacking takes the first 2 lines. He'll suffer a 16 slashing plus an additional 10 fire damage.
Okay.
And then this one here will suffer an additional 7 fire damage in the center.
Okay. And they do seem to take full damage from it, because tokens are red, but they are not.
All right. And as a bonus action, I will just stand my ground so that Tira can take 3 pot shots at him. That'll be my turn.
Okay. The one in the middle looks very hurt. The one to the south looks pretty hurt. The one to the north is quite healthy. Jacob?
Okay. Jacob is going to turn around after getting hit with all that green poisonous acid flame. Poisonous flame?
Just acid. He
Just
sort of
acid.
puked up his guts on you.
Hi, Pontiff. Okay. well, this is just not the way I thought this day was going. Peric, do something, and I cast haste on him.
Okay.
And I'm gonna click the spell so everyone knows that I did it. There we go.
You
Alright.
did it.
Peric, you have advantage on your first attack or skill check from Leona, and you're hasted. As you feel this surge of adrenaline, you've been disconsolate since learning how far into the future you came, but now here's something you can do. And you're muted.
Thank you.
You're using stuff now.
Push to talk now.
He
Something
was
I
just
can
talking
hit.
so fast we couldn't hear him.
I look up and I pull out my hammer and it begins to glow.
Oh.
Nice.
Bring down the hammer.
Damn, that is a sexy spell.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to make 2 attacks. One against the weakest guy in the middle.
Mm-hmm. He dies. No, that's a 10 to hit. He does not die. You miss.
But he has advantage on the first strike.
You do. So roll another d20.
Yes.
That's a nat 20, sir.
Oh.
Why don't you roll me a lot of damage?
Yeah.
It doesn't
Wow.
matter. He dies.
So you're saying he took 400 points?
Mm-hmm.
That much more.
He turned into a
gajillion
blinding
points.
flash of light.
He did. He turned into a column of radiant flame and burns to a crisp.
Then with my hasted action, I'll make a second attack. And this looks like a man at work. He's not like angry. He's not like yelling anything. He just looks just focused and like he's just, getting ready to hit the next piece of metal as it comes out of the forge.
Okay.
As he makes a second attack.
That will hit.
Nice.
And roll the radiant damage.
Oh boy.
Excellent. 22.
Brian,
As he staggers back from the fire and the radiance and just plain old mass of the hammer. Yes.
So the phylactery of Ivonus, am I absorbing that soul?
Is it an action? I have to look it up. I don't remember what I wrote.
Jacob
a
doing some
reaction.
dark shit,
It's
yo.
a reaction to absorb that soul.
Okay. You attempt to absorb the soul, but the creature turns into dust. And you reach out for its soul with the phylactery and find nothing.
Uh-oh. Maybe I messed that one up. I've never really used this thing.
Peric, anything else on your turn?
Nope, that's it.
Pantouf.
Remind me again how this works. Can he attack on this turn, or would I need to instruct him to do
Right.
things?
So you do need to use your reaction to give him orders. So he is going to do his own thing.
Okay. Well, I'm sure he's quite pleased that Jacob is here, because Jacob is usually quite a friend.
He gives Jacob a little nuzzle, but then he runs forward and attempts to bite this guy.
That's chill. That's kind of what I wanted him to do, so...
Okay. So he is going to miss as his teeth rake across the armor of this creature. That's his turn.
Probably doesn't taste great either.
Kira.
It's okay, buddy. I got you. I'm gonna start by... I have a good angle here-ish, right? I can shoot this guy here. Excellent.
You can... Yeah. He's going to have partial cover
It's okay. I believe I still have another steady. How many shots do I have? I have 3. And they last for the full turn. So who knows? Maybe I should keep it. Choices. No, you know what? I'm gonna use another one of my steady aims. So I will ignore up to 3/4 cover as I take these shots. I'm gonna take 1 shot to the one in front of Peric.
Mhm.
It's gonna be the snack attack. Let me just click that thing. It will happen, I promise. It's gonna be worth the wait.
UPS, actually. Okay. It ignores 3/4 cover, but you don't have advantage, and it misses.
Son of a bitch. Then I will continue with my plan nonetheless.
Oh, wait, sorry, I take it back. 18 is the magic number.
Sweet.
It does hit, so that's 17. Okay.
Then I will roll across the corridor because my plan was to hit them both. So I'm gonna hit the other one. Oh, there's a little too much in there because this is the sneak attack. I forgot to remove it. I'm sorry.
Okay, so minus 10.
Yes.
So that's 25. Okay.
I mean, it's still pretty good.
It's really
It's not as good.
As he staggers forward, almost catching himself on Pantouf, but instead grabbing the pillar, he's almost dead. But it's their turn. Unless you have anything else.
How badly wounded do my friends look as I've, rolled across this corridor?
They're kind of hurt, but they don't look like they're about to die.
Fuck it, I'm still gonna do it. I'm gonna action charge.
Okay.
It will keep my steady aim going as it's still my turn. I'm gonna reshoot
And
the one at the bottom.
the one at the bottom staggers, collapsing on the column and just sliding to the ground. When he dies, his body likewise turns to dust.
Slide back to the other side of the corridor and do the same to the last one.
Does their gear diminish with them?
Yep. No, sorry, no, it doesn't. But it does seem to tarnish, not rust, but the metal that had been hard and stopping all these attacks seems to turn black and brittle.
And now I'm going to use my bonus action to hide.
Okay.
Poorly. I mean, what am I hiding from anyways? But I did it.
All right. This last one is going to attack, seeing his friends go down. First, let's see if he gets his breath weapon back. As you took out the two with breath weapons still. He does not, so he is going to attack the little thing in front of him that looks like the easier target. 1, 2. So those work.
I will cast shield.
Okay.
Neither will hit.
He swears a little bit. But then he starts saying something. But since none of you speak Draconic.
Skelmar lets me speak Draconic.
Okay. It's hard to understand. And Skelmar sort of adds
Complains about the accent.
It's not the accent. It sounds almost like this creature is speaking a strange dialect that... do you know about pidgin languages?
Yeah.
Where they sound like English plus German plus whatever, but they're really their own language. That's what this is. You can just barely make out that it seems to be some kind of prayer. Instead of a god, you just hear the word mother in the place of where you think a god would be in the prayer. Okay, that's his turn. It's your turn.
You know, I'm all for prayers, but if you're not going to pray to a god, you might as well pray to me for mercy. Stab him in the throat.
And you kill him. And Stalmar says, "Oh, very good, very good. I like that. Let's find some more. You know, they don't really give me any minute gems or anything, so somewhat disappointing, but still, that was good practice."
Apparently, they're foot soldiers, so there'll be a lot of them.
And this one, likewise, his body turns to dust when he dies.
Looks like they were looking
no
for something,
soul.
actually.
No
Each
souls.
I just don't understand this at all.
Now, make an Arcana check for me.
Oh, okay.
See, you're smart.
I've been known to be intelligent.
Okay, so you do believe that it's working, that you're doing it right, but there are some kinds of creatures who you know this won't work on. This doesn't seem to be one of them to your knowledge, but it could be that there's some other kinds of creatures that you can't take the souls from, or they don't have souls.
Yeah. I'm starting to think that these guys might not be soulful creatures.
Can I check their equipment in the room they were searching for a bevel or a gem?
Make an investigation check for me.
Or really anything. This is sort of Jacob's thing, but I nailed it.
Oh, damn.
Nice. So, let me see. You, looking in the room, you see that they had broken into 2 small chests. There's no gem or anything that would match the bevel, but you do find on them and amongst the remains of the chests, you find 300 gold. You find a sapphire pendant on a gold chain worth about 1,400 gold. And you find a golden circlet with 4 aquamarines that would probably be worth about 4,000 gold.
Wow.
Otherwise, in this room, it's rotting furniture. And broken shards of furniture. There are doors, as you can see, I've drawn them in brown, to the north and south, and then still that door off to the east. This is the broken area of the wall, and then there's the door back to south to the main room that you were in. I'm not going to keep drawing this on this map. Back we go. Boom. Okay. What would you like to do? Mm-hmm.
Well, they had to have come from somewhere, so let's check in the dust for footprints through either of these doorways. And let's go to the place that they haven't been.
There is a door. There was a door to the south we could try.
Mm-hmm. And one continuing north past the room where they were.
Yeah, so there's 2 in this T intersection, includes the room that they were in. Which one looks like it was traveled east?
Make a survival check.
I'm not great at this.
What are you talking about?
So it looks like the room to the south has not been visited in a very, very long time. You don't see any footprints except those of your own party at the door to the south. You do see a few footprints going under the door to the north. Somebody's got a lot of noise.
Oh, sorry, that's me. I'll
Sorry about
What do you say? To the south, it looks like they haven't been through that way. Or they're much better at hiding their footprints. Right, that's a yes then. Door to the south it is, Bry.
You open the door, and this is a room that extends maybe 20 feet further south. It's only about 10 feet wide. It looks to be the same dimensions as the room that is across the room with the columns where the wall was knocked down. To the south, along the south of this room, the wall is strangely shaped, curved almost, and there are little arrow slits. There are human bones across the floor that seem to have once been held together by several faded scraps of black cloth. And it looks like at one point, a very long time ago, there was a battle in this room.
Can I try and peek through one of the arrow slits? Hopefully
you can.
avoiding an arrow to the eye.
Yeah, you do. And you look out. You have to hold your torch up to the other slit to be able to cast light into the room beyond. Would you do so?
I would probably ask what else to look if that was the case.
Okay.
I forget that this place is dark and I cannot see.
I can have a peek if you want.
Okay. When you look, you see the first room that you had come in through, the portal room.
I think this goes back to where we came from. Maybe we try the other one instead.
Well, that's just the arrow slit. The actual door doesn't go back to the portal room, right down the hallway.
There's
right?
no door down the hallway. There's
Oh.
only the door you came through.
Yeah, the other one then.
Okay. You head up. So there's a door to the north where the dragon men were. There's a door across the columned room on the east wall. Which way are you going?
Follow the
East
dragon
wall?
people?
Nope, dragging people sounds fine. Yeah.
Okay. Are you gonna listen at the door or something, or?
Yeah, we're gonna, if we're following the track of the dragon peeps, we're gonna be on the careful side. So, unless somebody else wants to do it, Tira's got no problem listening at the door.
Okay.
It's not her best skill, but
That's
she
fine.
got no problem listening at the door.
You do not hear anything.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. When you open the door, you see a room that is even more thickly covered in cobwebs. You see scattered bones of humanoid figures amongst several rotted cots. It looks like this might be a barracks or a bunk room.
What is this place, anyways?
I think I'll light up my elm so that Leona can see what's going on.
Okay.
I'll remove my my goggles first, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and have a look through this room, see what's up.
You spend a few moments looking around and you find just some ancient armor. It is worthless at this point and rusted. You find one of the broken, rusted helmets has a minotaur horn embedded in it. There's a rotted leather breastplate with some kind of imagery you're not familiar with. That sort of thing.
You know, we fought a minotaur once. Remember that? It was good times.
No, I don't.
Well, they're very intimidating, but you know, you can scare them too. Just FYI.
Good to know.
Also in this room, there is another door immediately opposite on the north wall. and a door on the southwest wall leading south.
There's so many doors.
Does any of this look familiar, Elric? You're the only one that hasn't been consistently with us, so...
Oh no, I've never been to this place.
Make a history check.
Maybe you have.
But now that I think about it,
No, you have definitely never been here, but you might.
Sorry, I was in edit mode. Histori.
Mhm. It's the design does not look like one that you recognize. The architecture of this place, the broken armor that you're finding looks like it's of a different age. It's not as old as the building, but it's old. But
Yeah.
you think you might recognize the armor as something that would have been in use 500 years ago, 750 years ago.
I tell them that, only I subtract about 62 years from my estimates.
Oh no, I mean for you,
Yeah, no, I'm telling them, but I'm subtracting.
for them. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus, it'll be confusing if they start subtracting an additional 62 years, and then chaos begins.
Yeah.
That doesn't help us much.
We keep moving forward, then.
No way else but forward. Which door, though? There are two choices. Southwest, southeast. And I forget where the other one is, because I have terrible memory. North. I guess north? I mean, we've been going north for a bit.
I think at this point, any direction seems just as valid as any other.
Very well. This one it is. And I'll listen at the northern door.
Okay. Make another perception check. Okay. You do not hear anything from the north.
Alrighty then. I will, I'll open the door.
Okay. You do, and the corridor leads about 15 feet north before turning east again. Around a corner you can't see. But where it turns, immediately ahead of you, on the north wall, is another door.
There's so many doors. Starting to lose count.
Let's close this one and open up the remaining two just to see if they're more interesting than the hallway.
Fair enough. I'll close back the door.
Okay. And which...
East, southeast.
Okay. When you open that door, you see this room is thick with cobwebs, more so than the rest of this place. The furniture in the room, if there had been any, has long since fallen to dust. You see some small creatures moving in the cobwebs, and you can tell very easily that they seem to be spiders, maybe about the size of your hand.
Okay. I mean, obviously, nobody wants to go into the spider room, but among
Not
the
too funny.
wreckage and refuse, do I see anything that looks like a remainder of a drawer or something that would have concealed a gem or bevel? And if I need to go in, I'll just go in. Like, I'm not.
So you can make a perception check.
I'm proficient in this.
Mm-hmm.
I have a 10 wisdom. Hey, it's not bad.
There doesn't seem to be anything that large that still remains. Everything has well disintegrated or is wrapped up in cobwebs. and you can't tell. But there don't seem to be any large shapes in the room.
All right. If I don't see anything obvious indicating, more secret doors or gym hidey holes, I will just shut the door.
Okay.
Head to the southwest.
Southeast. So the only other door you haven't been through is the door on the east wall of the large room with the columns.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we can go back to the northern door where there's a corridor and another door.
Mm-hmm.
Or we could go all the way back. I think that we should clear this place first.
Why not?
This side of the room. All right, well, back where we first came. This way, please. And I'll reopen the door that I first came through. And just, I'll keep an ear peeled just in case I hear some noises and try to be quiet about it. But I mean, I am going to emit some light. So it's not going to be that salty, as evidenced by my stat roll.
Okay. So you go 15 feet down this corridor, and where it turns, you can see it extends another 15 feet to the east, ending in a door on the east wall. There are 2 doors, one on the north, one on the south, in this new section of the hallway that you're seeing as well. So that's a total of 4 doors that you can see from where you are. 2 on the north wall, 1 on the south, 1 on the east.
Do I hear any noise?
No.
Which one is the closest to me at this time?
The northwestern door.
I open that one.
Okay. You see in this room a shattered bed and a desk, both of which have crumbled and cracked and broken open.
Well, the dragons were looking through a desk, so maybe something of interest is there. I'm gonna investigate this room.
Sure, make another perception check. The only thing you find amongst the ruins of the furniture, aside from Dragon Man tracks, you find what looks like probably a thigh bone that has been gnawed.
Yeah. Oh, Patouf! And I throw it.
And he starts to open his mouth to catch it, but he gets a smell of it just before, and he turns his head and he sort of takes it on the side of the head.
Was it not I'm sorry, buddy. I thought it would be a good one. It's already been gnawed. I want to do it again.
Medicine check. Just tell what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bone.
So you can't tell if it's human or elf or some other, but it looks definitely humanoid. Thigh bone would be your guess. Broken off partway down and gnawed on, and it looks like by humanish teeth.
Ugh.
They don't look like monstrous or animal teeth marks.
All right. Well, is there anything else interesting?
Not that you've seen.
That poor dog.
There's a compilation. The dude throws like 1,000 pieces of food at him, and the dog never catches any of it. So we'll go clockwise and go to the next door.
Okay, so there are 2 doors across from each other, one on the north, one on the south.
So we started northwest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I reading that right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll do north next.
Okay. This door you open and it smells terrible. It looks a bit like a privy, maybe, or a latrine.
Ugh.
And it looks like, well, make a survival check. It looks like a latrine. And it smells really bad.
I am not dredging the bottom of this.
I don't think that would be necessary. Do close the door, though.
I close the door.
Okay.
Next door.
Last door.
Okay. East or south?
East.
I'm gonna say south. Oh,
Didn't we come from the
Clockwise,
south?
motherfucker!
So it makes a right angle. You came from the south, up, and then turned right. You're now in that right hallway. And there's a door on the north that you just looked at that was the latrine, a door opposite to the south, and then a door another few feet on to the east. At the
Okay,
end
so-
of the hallway.
East would be clockwise, the next one.
Alright. East it is.
Okay. This door you open and you see inside a rotted table that is somehow still standing. The remains of 4 chairs around it, having crumbled themselves to the floor. The table is warped and it's leaning very badly to one side. There are, to the north, a set of circular stairs leading upward.
Well, at least it's not a door.
And there's a door on the east wall.
I take that back.
This place is dead. No one's been here in quite a long time.
Yeah. Let's check the door and then go up the stairs.
Yeah, just
I'm so
check
tired
for
of
bevels and
doors.
gems.
So which door? There's the one on the south wall in the hallway you came through, the one on the east wall.
The one in this room.
Okay, so that's on the east wall. In this room, it looks like this might have been a kitchen at one point. There's a huge dust-covered stone table against the south wall. There's a large fireplace in the western end of the north wall. There's also a door in the north wall and a door in the east wall. This room is probably 25 feet across, 15 feet north to south.
It's not very large.
No, it's not. It doesn't look like the kitchen is large enough to accommodate a large number of people.
Why don't
Can
we
I,
just go ahead and go upstairs?
Oh,
And-
what was that? I'm sorry, Larry?
I wanted to try to light the fireplace.
How?
I'll use the green flame blade and just kind of use my dagger to. Well, is there anything in the fireplace to light? I guess that's the first.
There's not, but there's plenty of rotted wood in the previous room.
We could break the table if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll just grab a little bit of that. I'll grab some of that table, throw it in there, and try to light it.
Yeah, no problem. You can light the fire. It burns for a little while. The wood giving off an acrid smoke, but it all gets pulled up the chimney.
Should
That
we
was- that
open
was-
the 2 doors?
That
at
was
the same
Jacob.
time?
He just wants a little bit of warmth in there.
Just be done with it.
What was that? I'm sorry.
I'm starting to wonder if we should just open the 2 doors in this room at the same time and just have the doors open. Or we could just go up the stairs and say forget about doors.
I believe we should clear this place as we move, lest we leave something behind us to sneak up upon us.
Fine. You take that one, and I'll take this one. I'll go to the one to the... Sorry, there's a lot of directions. East, north. I take one door.
Okay,
I
so
choose.
there's one on the north and one on the east.
I will take the east door.
I'll take the north.
Okay, east door.
I'm always listening to make sure that I'm not opening the door to a handful of whatevers, but otherwise I'll just open it.
So you don't hear anything on the other side. When you open the door, this room is 20 feet across, but the central part of the room is a 10-foot diameter hole. It's got ornate edges around it, and it looks like a perfect circle. Directly above it in the ceiling is a similar hole. Next to the hole on the floor is a small pedestal. And you can just barely make out something carved into the wall by the pedestal. The door to the north this is, when you open the door, you see something very strange. Mounted to one wall is some kind of small device. But occupying most of the room is a large winch and some kind of parabolic dish. No, I take it back. The parabolic dish is not in this room. I'm skipping ahead. My notes are bad. A large winch in this room.
And when I look through the other door, I see hole in the ceiling and hole in the floor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what was so strange about this?
So the winch seems to operate some kind of device, but you don't know what.
Okay.
The chain that is attached to the winch descends into the floor and is wrapped around some kind of axle.
All right. I will. I'll go in and just double check to make sure, like, no jam, no bevels, and then I'll investigate the machine before doing what any character in a game does. And I pull the chain.
Okay.
Like, if there's a dumbwaiter around, can I shove a halfling into it?
So you investigate, and there's a strange device on the wall, and then there's the winch.
Okay. I'll look at the device first.
Okay. It looks something like this.
Yeah.
That's so easy to guess. I mean,
This is it. This is finally when the map coordinates come into play.
first game, you were given coordinates. I hope you remember them.
You have no idea how many times I messaged Brian about that fucking map. I hate that map. Okay. With this combination of numbers, does it stand out as anything obvious? Like,
Make just an intelligence check.
Is this a phone number? Is this
There are 12
date?
numbers.
Mm-hmm. And you rolled a 12. No, it looks like it might be part of the same device that the winch maybe operates, but you're not sure.
I pull the winch.
Make a strength check.
Oh, I might not pull the winch.
Do you want me to pull the winch?
Yes.
So it is old and rusty and difficult to move, and you cannot make it turn.
You're also not super strong.
But somebody else could try.
Yeah, I look over and I see that Herrick and Leona both look like they are physically strong, muscular. I'll call one of them over.
Yeah,
And I'll
I'll
help you.
pull the chain.
Okay, make with the two of you doing it, one of you gets advantage. So somebody will roll.
I have 23 strength.
Excellent. Which way are you turning the
girl.
winch? tightening or loosening?
Tightening?
Okay. So the numbers on the display change. The second pair of numbers change when you tighten the winch. When you tighten it, the numbers go up.
And can I loosen it just to make sure they go down when you do it the other way?
They do.
And that is the second pair. So
Yes.
the 21 or the 32.
Does
The
this
32.
winch, by any chance, like have a series of tracks that the chain runs into that, like, I can move the chain along? It'll change which numbers it changes, or
No, it
Okay.
appears to only move these two numbers.
but it's heavy.
Very heavy.
Are there any numbers in this room?
Make an investigation.
I'll help him with that.
13. I really regret not being proficient at this
Um,
moment.
You don't find any numbers in the room, but looking around, sort of wedged, what was making the winch even more difficult to turn is a small pouch. And it contains some coins that look to be ancient. The edges are worn. You can barely make out the design on them. It is 50 platinum.
So no
And
numbers
is there a
on them. then.
minted date?
Yeah.
No, they are worn.
Okay.
You cannot make out. You only can tell that they're coins because they are platinum and they are round.
All right. I think I'm done with this room for now until I know better what to do with it.
I also have a room,
You do.
and I believe there were some carvings and the holes were perfectly circular. Did they look
Mhm.
like man-made holes or
They
more
do.
like
No,
magic?
they look like they're explicitly carved into the floor, and then there's a nice lintel around them, sort of lining the edge of the hole to make sure that no one would hurt themselves on the hard edge.
Okay.
Um,
I'll ask Pantouf to stay with Perrick because I think he said he was sitting by the fire. So Pantouf will sit there and
Mhm.
just be a friend to the tiny friend. But I will call Jacob over because we need to investigate this room, and I would sure like your company, my friend. So come over
Oh.
here. I think there's some carvings over here. We can
Yep, on the
look.
wall next to the small pedestal.
Yes, that'd be a good idea to investigate those.
Okay.
Can you make anything out of this?
They
I don't speak.
They don't appear to be a language. They look like this.
Huh.
Additionally, the pedestal, as you approach, you see that there are 3 small bowls fixed to the surface of the pedestal. The center bowl is empty. The left and right bowls contain small stones. The left bowl contains several small stones that are red, and they have 3 white dots on them. The right bowl contains white rocks with 2 black dots.
Huh.
I think this is some kind of diagram. That's what I'm noodling.
But can you make
Obviously.
out what it's saying?
It's time for portals.
I think.
Do you think that we have to jump?
So if you grab one of the 3 dotted stones, there's something to indicate where we are in this diagram.
There's no you are
You are in the middle, right? Yeah.
Well, let's start simple. And I will take a ball bearing from my bag full
Mhm.
of lots of stuff. I will extend my hand just over the hole
Okay.
and drop it.
You drop the ball bearing and see it essentially disappear about 10 feet below the level of the floor. And a few seconds later, a ball bearing comes falling out from the ceiling, goes
Oh, this is
down
like-
through the hole in the floor, and disappears. And a few seconds later, falls back.
Put it back in the bowl. Yeah, that's not working.
I have a familiar. I pull it out and I just drop it in the hole.
A familiar? What is it?
Right.
You know, I hadn't really even chosen. I'm just going to go with like a cat. But I tossed the cat in the
Tresson?
hole. I hadn't discussed it with Brian. I originally wasn't going to take Find Familiar because Larry already has one. But I had an extra ritual and I was like, that's the best ritual to take. So, but yeah, I just toss him in and look through his eyes to see if he sees anything different as he falls. Then I'll take him back out, give him one
Jacob's
of
seen
the
this would do it too.
yeah, give him one of the bearings, and toss him in again and see if it looks different. If he sees a different place without us.
Okay, just a moment.
We're throwing too many shits down the well.
No, I'm still logging into everything and pulling
Oh.
everything up I need.
Mort, you do the same thing. I feel like this guy he knows his stuff.
I have no fucking clue. I'm like throwing shit at the wall, see what sticks.
You drop your cat down the hole, and it comes yowling down from the ceiling.
Why would you do that to a cat?
Yeah, that's not a proper way to treat a pet.
It's not real.
It's Elric's cat. You know, it's
What do you
neither.
mean it's not
up
real?
or
It's
down.
yelling.
It's not a real cat.
It doesn't seem very happy.
You can make fat cats with well, of course you can. You can make all kinds of things.
Listen, and like I'm not looking at the cat as I snatch it out of the air.
And it sort of grabs onto your arm and digs in its claws, its ears back, its mouth open, its tongue stuck out. It's sort of panting in fear.
I give it a 1 marble and I toss it back in.
I mean,
There are red marbles with 3 dots and white marbles with 2 dots.
I give it a white marble with 2 dots
Okay, and drop it down the hole.
and drop it down the hole.
Okay. How is it holding the marble?
Is it too big for it to hold in its mouth?
No, it's a marble.
Yeah.
Tape it to its side.
Okay, so you put the marble in its mouth, and it starts falling.
catch him.
And you hear, "Meow," but it does not come back through.
Right then, I'm going to take a marble and jump.
Leona, that seems. What if the cat is dead?
We have a
It
3 and a
seems
2
to
here,
point.
which would suggest we're on the first.
Yes.
So this would be. I guess logically
Yeah.
we should go to the second, all of us. There's enough marbles for like everybody.
I
right?
think Leona's right, though. The diagram shows you going through with marble. 1, 2, 3.
Well, only one way to find out. I grab a marble
Which kind?
and I step off the edge. The second. The 2 dots, the white one.
Okay.
Grab my cat.
You step off the edge and come falling down. You fall past 1 floor with obvious openings through the hole. But as you come down to a second floor, you slow and then land in midair. You see a cat ahead of you. This
Fix
room
the
looks the same as the other room where you were, except on quick inspection you see that the pedestal there holds black marbles with 1 white dot and red marbles with 3 white dots.
And did the marble that I was holding disappear?
It did, and reappeared in the center bowl on the pedestal.
Oh.
Yeah, I think we should jump through.
Well, maybe
give
we
him
should
his-
wait. If
give
she's
her
not
a
dead,
second to
she'll
return.
definitely return.
Yeah, I'll grab one of the first dots and then jump back down.
Okay, and you
Bring the
will all
cat with
see
me.
Leona fall downwards and then slow to a gentle stop and stand in mid-air in the middle of the hole.
That's a nice trick.
Right, here's your cat.
Just I pat it once on its head, and they just put it in a pocket dimension.
All
So
right,
which
well,
floor would you like to go to?
should we go directly to the top? That's usually where the good stuff is.
What concerns me is that we seem to acquire 3 of these gems to reinstate the portal to somewhere. If there are 3 floors, it makes sense to spread them out over each one. We haven't found one on this floor.
The
It also makes sense to start at the top and work our way down.
Especially,
portal is at
Second
the
floor.
bottom.
let's proceed then.
I like Leona's plan. I will grab the one with the 3 dots on it,
Mm-hmm.
and I will do a swan dive into the portal.
Oh,
You do. You then come to a graceful land, somehow being set gently on your feet, in a room that is identical to this room that you had just left, except within the bowls on the left, one is white marbles with 2 black dots, and on the right, there are black marbles with 1 black dot.
All right, I'll step aside, scout the room, count the doors, and wait for my friends to get here.
I grab a marble and I walk off again.
Cannonball.
I take Perig with me.
Herrick
Somebody
like,
bring my dog.
gets on his like his butt and then his stomach and is like trying to slowly lower himself into it. Doesn't really work out though. It's
like a pool.
yeah, or just someone trying to climb down from like a wall that they're unsure of, and you're like, it's 2 feet. You're a foot away. Just drop.
But I'm scared.
All of you who do.
Then he remembers he has winged boots. He just let go.
Nice.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't pick the wings now.
All of you who follow do land gently again. This room has doors on the west wall and on the south wall.
Anything special about the doors?
They look the same as all the doors here have.
All
I
right.
make my way to the west door and open it.
Okay. When you do, sorry, just finding my notes. Okay. You open this door, and standing in the middle of the room is a crystal globe, some kind of device. Sorry, things are in 2 places. You looking at the device, it is the crystal globe itself is about 5 feet across. There look like sorry. There's a golden ring surrounding the pedestal in which the globe is set. The ring holding the globe in place. And in recesses on this ring are 12 clear gems, 6 on either side of a set of 12 wheels, mounted exactly like you saw in the room with the winch.
Dials, 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 and wheels, and wheels, and dials, and numbers, and gems.
Looking into the globe, you see an image of a cube-shaped room with some strange kind of device in the center. The doors and stairs in that room and the image inside the crystal appear to exit at the wrong angle. They're strangely placed within the room.
Your mind cannot comprehend them.
No, it's like there's a door and a staircase along one wall leading to another wall.
More like Labyrinth, not quite like Lovecraft.
Think MC Escher.
Excellent. I have no idea what to do with this stuff.
Jacob wants to try to walk up the staircase.
No, it's an image inside this globe.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. Jacob wants to make his fingers walk up the staircase.
You can do that. Make an Arcana check.
The cat is still upset about being thrown in the hole right away.
Yeah. Phantom meows come from your pocket dimension. Arcana check now. I think I hit it. There you go.
You believe that this is some kind of scrying device, and perhaps it is steered by the gems. You can't tell without actually doing anything, but that seems to be your general impression.
Okay. Can I take one of those gems? And you said there were wheels on the other side?
Sorry, there are 12 gems, 6 on either side of a set of wheels, just like were mounted on the wall in the room with the winch.
What if I look at the wheels, what is going on with the wheels?
They have numbers on them, and the numbers exactly match the numbers from the room with the winch after you had changed it.
If I pick up a gem, do I see a number in my mind?
When you try and pick up a gem, you realize the gems are part of this device, and you can't pick it up. But touching a gem makes the image in the crystal change.
Ooh.
It makes the what? I'm sorry, it broke up on my side.
The image inside the crystal globe changes when you touch one of the gems trying to remove it.
Okay, so before it was looking at
this weird room with doors and stairs in strange positions.
Okay, if I touch like the first gem, what does it shift to?
It looks like a winch that is very similar to the one you had seen, but it is obviously not that room. There's a different orientation, the lighting. Through this, you can see that this is a different room.
Okay.
And as you go down the line pressing, you determine that there are 6 rooms with winches.
6 rooms with winches.
When you press the other gems on the other side of the readout, you see now these strange parabolic sort of mirrors, one in each different room as you're pressing these other 6 gems. It looks like it is carved out of an octagonal block of granite. and is mounted inside a framework of metal tracks. And there's a large screw-like device sticking out of the back of the granite, to which is attached a heavy chain.
Okay.
In front of the sort of dish, held in place with 8 rods, is a crystal pulsing with light.
Like the ones we've been looking for?
Much bigger.
Oh.
Well, it's pretty obvious we gotta go to all the benches, but I'm not sure what numbers we're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
That's the thing I'm wondering. I feel like we're missing a piece of this puzzle in terms of what the numbering needs to be, unless it's just 1 1 1 1 1 1 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 and so on and so forth.
Perhaps the many undiscovered rooms yet will reveal something more precise.
This is the room I feel that would be in. It does seem to be the
It's like
culmination of the other rooms.
the master room.
Well, if we don't have the combination, it's not worth all that much, is it?
These gems don't look similar to the ones that activate that portal that's inactive.
They're a different color, but of similar cut and size.
Let's thoroughly investigate this room before we leave. That's all I'm
And
saying.
the gems didn't change color; they just changed image.
So the gems on the portals dimmed. The gems here don't actually have an image in them. When you press them, it changes the image in the large central crystal sphere.
I wonder if we program the gems and then bring them to the door, the portal. You wouldn't need 3 gems for that. I don't know.
Let's give a look through this room and then try to see if we can't find more clues before we come back here, because obviously this is
Agreed.
I mean, I don't know about you, but it's all a little over my head.
Okay. Somebody make an investigation check for me, or Arcana.
I could do that. Jacob beat me to it, but it's a good roll.
So
We rolled 19.
So you're not with that Arcana. You can't really determine any more about this device.
Dang.
Investigating this room doesn't really turn up anything else. There are doors on the north and on the west walls. You came through the door on the east wall.
I'll try the north door. Is there any noise coming from it?
Yes, as a matter of fact, you hear a... yes, exactly. You hear
This one leads to a pocket dimension where I keep a cat.
You hear a grunting sound, almost a sound of exertion coming from the north door.
Is it gonna be awkward if I interrupt?
Make a perception check.
Boom.
No, it sounds like someone is trying to move something heavy.
Okay. Still, I'm gonna dim the lights, put on my night goggles, and try to stealthily open the door.
Okay, roll stealth. Okay, you open the door, and in this room you see another one of these winch devices.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of sliding down, giving up on his attempts, you see what looks like a young halfling. He looks, though, very pale. Whether he's ill or wounded or whatnot, you can't tell. He does not notice you.
And he's trying to pull on the winch, and he's having a hard time?
He seemed to have been, but he seems to have given up now.
Is he armed in any way?
No, not that you can see. He's on the opposite side of the winch from you, though, and he's very small.
All right. Seeing that he's small and unarmed and he seems to be having a hard time, I'm just going to ask him from the darkness, do you need a hand with that?
Where's Rachel?
No. So you hear a little laugh. And he says, Tira, right? I didn't expect you to come straight up here.
Wait, you know me? I mean, of course you know me, but how? Who are you? Have we met?
Not really. And he stands up and snaps his fingers, and 4 little dancing lights appear around him.
I take off the goggles. Just, a little warning next time.
Sorry, I can't see in the dark.
It's okay. Not everybody can.
And he looks something like this.
Oh, why does that seem familiar? Isn't that the boy that Piper saw inside the gym?
It's Piper's spirit in the amulet.
That's
Right.
Piper's, gem boy.
Gym boy.
And when
She's
you
been all about them gem boys nowadays.
when the spots leave your eyes and they readjust to the light, you see he is wearing the same amulet that Piper had, only it looks cleaner, less tarnished, maybe not as old.
So now we're like way in the past. We're like
Do you say that?
way. No, that's not just what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Tell me, where did you
I
get?
don't think I'm actually there.
Tell me, where did you get this amulet? I had a friend who had one just like it.
Don't say any more about that. So, I'm Aloysius. You can call me Al.
Oh, nice to meet you. I'm Tira, but you already knew that.
I'm afraid I'm the one who brought you here. I'm sorry.
What? Okay. Well, at least we found out what happened. Ooh, tell me, where is this?
Is everybody still out in the other room?
I can call them over. Yes. I'll just give a whistle, and Pantouf will start pushing you into the room.
I was trying. I had to go to the bathroom.
So,
He's dragging Jacob by the cowl. It's like.
so you come into this room, and he looks genuinely happy to see all of you. But in a minute, he gets a pained expression on his face, and he sort of sits back down. He clutches at his left arm a little bit. And he says, I'm truly sorry, but it had to be you, it couldn't be. And then he sees Elric, and he goes, shit.
So you know him too?
So you were all safe to bring here, because you're not supposed to be there, but he was supposed to be there, and now he's here. That's not the best.
One is better than 5, I suppose.
I'm really new at this, and I think my aim was off. Did I miss anybody? And he starts counting. Oh,
Yes.
yes. 1. I missed 1. Oh, that's bad.
Al, I really
You
need
missed
to
2
start
actually.
making sense.
Hadronor was back there, or 3 if we count the one woman we were sent to rescue.
Who?
Well, there's the paladin, Hadronor,
Right.
Gum
he's the one I
Gum,
missed.
and Gum Gum.
No,
He doesn't know Gum
she's
Gum.
where she's supposed to be.
What? Wait,
It's complicated.
Obviously.
But you said
Are you
3.
gonna-
I missed another one.
Well, there's that woman we were sent to hell to rescue,
Lady Talbusk.
Lady Talbesk.
Was there something maybe wrong with her? Because when I was checking, I only saw. I didn't see her.
She didn't have her mental faculties.
So she wasn't actually there. Not
We're
all
working on
play.
fixing that.
Sure.
All right.
So,
all right,
question:
all right, Endling. Why?
Why do you keep calling people weird things?
Why have you brought us here?
Well, you weren't supposed to be here, but we'll take care of that some way. I think. I need help. That's why I brought you. Well, them. So they're not.
Are we in the past compared to where we started?
No. You're nowhere.
Oh, can we get to where we're supposed to be?
Yeah. That was part of why I brought you out of the time you were in. But so
All right.
this place is broken, and I need help. And he starts coughing, and he coughs up a little black phlegm.
Oh.
And he says, "But I'm hurt, and I can't do it myself."
Does it start with this wench?
Right. So, from what I can tell, like I said, I'm new at this. But what I can tell, the 6 winches coordinate. You can make a medicine check. He says the 6 winches coordinate the central cube along all 6 axes of space-time, and he just starts rattling off stuff and loses most of you very quickly, and even Elric and Jacob, he loses after not very long.
Al,
Right.
Al,
I pull the winch.
I just need you to tell us what to do to make it right.
Left to right.
So you saw the portals you came through, right?
Yes,
Right. So one brings you here and the other sends you home.
we gathered that.
Okay. So in the next room, there's that crystal thing. Yeah.
We saw it too.
Okay. There's another one downstairs. So the one up here is used to drive the cube, and then the one downstairs drives the portals. And then the winches, you turn the winches to drive the cube too. I'm not saying it right. Okay, so you saw the numbers.
Yes.
Okay.
What numbers do we put in? The numbers.
I don't know. I've got one set of numbers, but I don't know if they're good.
Well, it's one more set of numbers that we currently have, so that can't be
But
bad.
eventually, you're not here anymore, and someone else is here,
What?
right?
He looks a little confused. So Peric, he looks sick, but you can't tell from what. And you don't know if you would be able to fix it or not.
Well, I don't have any restorations on me anyway, so eh.
Okay.
Sucks to be you, boy.
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 So he says, "What? The portal controls are missing some crystals, but I haven't been able to find any here.
So they might not be here at all.
But if you drive the cube, you can go to here that isn't. You can go back,
Okay.
but I don't know how far back. And the cube only sends you back in here, not out there. Does that make?
So we can go
Not
back
that
before
much.
you were here and someone else was here.
Yes, but the
Including
portal's the
all- They
only
would
way
know.
to leave this place. So I've got some numbers. We can move the
All right.
winches and send you back to this same building again,
Or hopefully the crystal will be here and we can
Yeah.
take it and then use the portal to escape in the proper time. All right, I'm feeling good, boys and girls. Let's go do that thing. Where do we need to go?
What are the numbers that you have?
he says 52, 83, 73, 56, 74, 47.
Slower, please.
52.
Ow.
83, 76,
I'm not an
47.
idiot. I just need you to say it slowly so that I can write it down. 52,
83,
86, 83. See, I'm already confused.
73,
73,
56,
56,
74,
74,
47.
47. See, that wasn't that hard.
Yeah. So, 3 of them move you through space, and 3 of them move you through time.
And what do the other 3 do?
There's only, 2-digit numbers.
Oh, okay. All right. So we find the dial, we put these numbers in, we
Then you go to the cube.
Where can we find this cube?
It's on the first floor.
Which
No,
floor?
I'm sorry. It's on the second floor, in the middle.
All right.
So the winches, they focus the focusing crystals, which aim energy at the cube, and the cube reorients itself.
Okay. I don't understand the details, but I can definitely put the numbers in and pull the trigger, and then we can go to the cube.
All right.
He
Cube
says-
first.
He says, so, you have to set all 6,
Mm-hmm.
and then it'll send you back. I don't know where it'll send you if you don't set them correctly.
Then we'll be sure to set them correctly the first time. Is there anything else that we should know?
I mean, you've seen, battle damage in this place, right?
There were a few baddies, but we took care of them.
It's the armies from the past.
I think. I'm not sure exactly. I can't see where it's going to send you. I think it's past my range.
Okay. You're saying we should probably be prepared
Yeah.
before we... All right. Do you mind if... Would you like some company? We could stay here for
I
a
don't
bit.
mind. Yeah.
Sounds great. I
And
think...
he suggests you move out into the crystal room.
Sure. We'll have TV.
I guess we just follow his instructions as best we can, and
And if we're going to
Set the
rest,
winches.
I'll find out exactly where the wrenches are on each floor.
Where the winches are.
yeah, they'd be connected to the portal rooms.
Short rest or will you long rest?
Do we need to rest at all?
I would short rest. You recommended it. We don't know what we can find, and some of us were wounded.
Yeah.
If we short rest, I can patch us all up too.
There you
So,
go.
I look down at my glowing hammer and sigh.
You don't want to rest.
I summoned a mighty miracle to make this weapon powerful. It lasts for an hour and then it goes away. I also spent some miracles and power on healing everyone else up to keep us going, but it's all right. Let's do what you want to do.
It did not make me feel bad about this at all, Peric.
My apologies, miss.
So Al will tell you he hasn't seen anyone else on this, on the 3 floors, but that doesn't mean they are here because the dragon men came in. He doesn't know exactly how.
Okay, so I mean, we could long rest if we needed, but I think short is sufficient. But I mean, I am open to
Yeah.
suggestions, despite with some people into that.
I mean, I guess whatever makes you guys comfortable to progress.
Just a short rest would do wonders for me.
Yeah, I think Peric wants a long though, right? If we're not in any danger, and does the
I mean,
half
Peric was suggesting we just keep going, but if you guys want to take a short rest, he'd prefer that.
To a long? You prefer a short to a long?
He is
Or rest.
anxious to figure out a solution and get back to his wife and the proper timeline.
Well, I mean, at this point, what's gonna be another day? Just kidding. We'll take a short rest.
Okay. You can easily take a short rest. Al will nap while you do so. He seems very tired. Then, after you recover whatever you recover, he will point out that there are 3 winches on this 3rd level, and there are 3 winches on the 1st level.
I will give everyone 8 temporary hit points.
Nice.
How many?
8.
8! It will be 8 forever from now on because I'm not getting any more levels in this class.
8 is good. Great, even.
I mean, but 9 would be better. I'm just kidding.
I'll murder you. And your handsome face.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, I must have not been listening. There were 3 on this floor and 3 on the 1st floor?
Correct. And the cube is on the 2nd floor.
Righto.
So, but first we need to go back to the 1st floor, to the room with the dials, to put in the coordinates. Correct.
No, the cranking the winches sets the coordinates.
Oh, okay.
You just gotta set all the winches and then go to the cube.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. On the 1st floor is another crystal device like this that operates the portals. And it's missing 1 large crystal, and then there are 3 small crystals that are needed to place in the exit portal.
Okay.
And he says, yeah, if I'm just sending you back in time, then these things were already missing when I got here, so maybe you went back and just took them?
I don't know how that works, so I'll take your word for it.
Oh, because we took them earlier in time, you don't have them for now, but in a minute you will because we come back with them.
Maybe.
By that logic, can we just go forward in time and skip this whole trial?
Well, I don't know where my coordinates are going to send you.
Ah. I don't like time.
Well, we're all subject to it,
He's not.
except for him.
Well, I'm more than most are.
Oh.
What
Is that
are
how-
you exactly?
I'm just a halfling.
Sure.
The last halfling. And he gets
I
really
look-
sad.
I look at Peric, and I look at Al,
yeah.
and then
Yeah.
I look at Peric.
So Al looks a little sheepish around Peric.
Peric, you want to take this one?
What happened to all the halflings?
The genocide.
Okay, well that was I feel like both obvious and unhelpful.
So I can't tell you for sure, because if we do what we're supposed to do, you'll go back to before any of it happened.
Which is a really good reason why I should know why there was genocide of halflings.
Except
Because it'll happen.
if I tell, it could mess things. And he thinks for a second, and he sort of touches the amulet a little bit, and his eyes glaze, and he says, about a year after you disappeared, bounties went out for halflings. Dead. Only dead.
Huh.
That's morbid.
It's a little bit, pardon my language, but screwed up.
I agree. A bunch of us, we hid in the Pale. And you would recognize that as a halfling word that sort of means enclave.
Hold on. You can't tell me what happened because things might go wrong if I go back. However, and I turn toward our new friend, Elric. Would you care to explain?
I am afraid that my current concern is, with all these halfling bounties, were they searching for a specific halfling? And I'll kind of look at him like I'm implying that maybe he is a specific
Make an
halfling.
insight check.
Me or him?
So, Elric.
Yatta!
He looks uncertain and sad. And he says, I've thought maybe sometimes that once I got this, and he sort of gestures at the amulet, he says, it seemed like a possibility, but there was never my name attached to any of the bounties. They just paid for halfling heads and feet.
I'll give him a slow nod and I'll say, how many years has it been since I've seen a Peric?
30.
I tell him as such. I say,
I haven't seen a halfling in 30 years. And I think if you asked anyone, that would largely be the same story.
Do we know who was issuing these bounties? Because obviously, if they're bounties, someone's got to collect.
Oh, of course. Don't know for certain, but there are theories about.
I mean, well, do you ever see one of these bounties in your contracts yourself? They probably would say where to go and collect your payment, turn in your feet.
Halfling head.
turn in your halfling feet. I will say,
Some of us believed that it was associated with various druids that had likely been responsible for perpetuating the plague.
Is that right, Brian? Am I remembering
Yes,
that right?
that is correct.
So druids sent out a plague, and then hunted halflings. That's well, that's just weird.
Speaking of halflings, Al, when's the last time you heard from Piper?
I don't know who Piper is.
Okay then, that's fine.
Was Piper a halfling?
No, she was half elf.
Ah,
We just
thought she was
always thought she was a halfling
'Cause she
we
was
told her
short.
she was cute.
Short.
Yeah.
Lodek
she
thought
was
she was a goblin or a halfling.
I misremembered. I thought she was a halfling, but I remember just that she was short and she had
And her picture was adorable.
Yeah.
and that she was adorable.
So, Tyr, if you want to roll insight on that, you can.
Sure. Because I mean, I know that he knows her. She couldn't say much about it, but I think that she mentioned his name once.
So, he definitely does not seem to be lying. But when he says he doesn't know her, then you see something click in his head.
Well, it's all right. If you ever do meet her, just tell her I say hi.
I think that would be bad.
All right, then don't. Obviously, we can't tell you what to do. Shall we be going then? I kind of want to try to go back to wherever and try to make sense of all this.
Okay. So I'm going to call it early this week. Just because as you explore more, I would like to have a full map for you.
That's fair.
Yeah, I could not wrap my head around the.
There was a lot of doors and a lot of
Yeah.
directions.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
basically,
no.
you went up the west side and then across the north side of this building, skipping the center and the bottom right side.
Okay.
Okay. Guys, we might be able to go back in time and save everything. Ah!
Don't get your
Cataclysm
hopes
might
up,
not
man.
be so cataclysmic.
Don't get your hopes up.
Jacob's hopes are up. He has high hopes.
Imperative to
No.
find a way to save the entire halfling population.
Everything's coming up, Jacob. I just realized that Jacob is the equivalent of Millhouse in this world. That's
Checks
how I'm
out.
gonna. That's how I envision him from here on out.
He's always Piglet to me.
Piglet.
Just like, yes. Dear.
But welcome back to the campaign.
Yeah.
I am happy.
Things are so weird.
Yeah.
This is the last time we go to hell. I don't care if the duty free is nice. We're not going back.
Man,
Eric's
I
definitely
wanted
went
some
back.
stilt from the river Styx to give to a god. You guys don't have any of that on you, do you?
Lodek thinks there'll be
Yeah.
some interesting spices and meats down there, so he's willing to go back.
Just spice of life.
Variety in hell.
Well, every time he tries to eat a devil, they just like dissolve in his mouth because they're dead,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't dissolve in hell.
But it's kind of like pop rocks. When you,
Eating a demon is like eating pop rock. I like that.
Oh man, I'm excited to be back. And so you got a blade singer, huh?
Can't prove that, yes.
Cool.
I
wizards.
didn't hear him sing.
Wow.
Particularly.
Yeah. Dang it. I wish you were next to me because I wish I could have cast. We should have cast Holy Weapon on your weapon because you would have been more devastating than I.
I would have cast haste on myself and just la da 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 da. da.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
that can happen.
I do appreciate being hasted, though. It makes that a lot more powerful for myself.
Well,
Yeah, I
you
feel
know
like
what? Maybe
I
we
have
can
not taken full
trade.
advantage of using that for people.
It is a good spell.
We should get one of his zombies and just we enlarge it, give it dragon's breath, haste it,
And throw
And
it
just
in the
watch it
middle
go.
of the enemy.
and just watch him go. Do 4 damage.
It's like Jacob's just like, hey, watch this, and he just like lets go of control and just lets the thing go like rampant. I'm not even doing it. This is fun.
Look, ma, no hands.
Yeah, look, ma, no telecontrol.
It's good to be back, though.
Good, I'm glad.
Yeah, definitely.
Got to
And-
shoot stuff.
And Tony, you were right. The numbers from the very first session were related to this.
What?
What?
If only I knew that.
Okay, let me open the first page of my book. I
Uh,
still have the same book.
There's a
which is
handout called Treasure
amazing.
Map.
Mm-hmm. Actually, you and Piper were the ones that had the map too.
The treasure map.
The treasure map.
Treasure map. Okay, yeah, it's right there. Is it the same? It is the same.
Holy
the plot
shit.
tickets.
You've
What?
been planning this for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Methinks you knew the end of this story when it began.
Somebody just gave up on us.
It was
Trent.
Trent. He was just sick of us. That's crazy though. This map, these numbers, my mind is blown. Who
It's
wrote
always
this?
nice to get the mind.
Should we look for a map to write these numbers on so that we don't fuck up the continuity?
Well, if this is both like space and time, like if you threw those numbers in, which presumably we just did,
Or we're gonna do.
You're gonna.
we're
do.
gonna do, then
Are
it'll
we
take
the
us
Order of the Black
to that
Osprey
time
now?
and place.
Maybe we will be the ones to tell them.
We're the Order of the Black Osprey.
Maybe we are.
No, you're not.
I don't like ospreys. They break down all the time. They're scary.
Cool.
The Order of the Black Osprey have names that many of you are familiar with, although I don't know if you've heard all of them yet.
One is called Bow Lady. Another is called Sword Lady.
I believe that my quiver is actually loot from one of them, if I'm not mistaken. Although it could be.
You
It's
are
been a long
mistaken.
time.
Isn't Scoutmar from one of them?
It's wrong.
Scalemar is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew there was somebody that had something. Mine was an Elven Queen then.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. I knew that it belonged to somebody important. Okay.
Yep.
But
Yours is from your quiver is from one of the attendants of the Elven Queen, whose undead body Piper took her amulet from.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was that
creepy
banshee that
undead
almost killed us all.
banshee person.
That was a rough fight.
Mm-hmm.
We almost all died. And
It
then
wasn't
Piper,
really a
like,
fight.
no,
It
but-
was an opera, and then that was about it.
Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. I hate it when they do that.
Hitting stuff that isn't there. Trying to hit the floor. Getting wailed at a lot. Good times.
As banshees do.
As banshees do.
Oh, cool. I'm looking forward to hitting more of these buttons.
Yeah. I was
Yeah, awesome.
I was a little confused about what numbers we were gonna have to put in. I'm glad that we found Al. Imagine if we had been walking around the whole all the floors before getting to the third. That could have been long.
So
Could've been.
there were other ways for you to find the numbers too.
Ah. Including the map that we still have somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But,
All right.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Well, thanks
It was-
everybody. I'm glad we're back. This is gonna be fun.
it is-
That is gonna be a lot of fun.
Brian.
Hmm?
it is